All right, so the debacle going around Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's not a good one. Okay? It's not a good one. There's a new rumor going around, and this is coming from Endymion, I believe, where it says, rumor, Assassin's Creed Shadows originally featured male Japanese main character, and the game could be delayed even further. I believe the first part, okay? I believe the first part, and I'll tell you why. The reason why I believe the first part is because I'm very big on patterns, right? Patterns allow me to perceive what's about to happen. And sometimes we're wrong, right? That's just how it goes. Sometimes we're wrong. That's okay. But for the most part, we're not, right? This is how I unlock my hypnodamus powers. By looking at patterns and seeing certain things and how they've unfolded in the past, learning from history, unlike these people. They don't like to learn from history. And then move on after that. So patterns have shown me that Ubisoft, for every Assassin's Creed game, has made a character that was based in the location of which the game took place. It was racially proper, skin tone proper, accent proper, everything proper. They made fictional characters that fit the location of the world of which they were taking place in. Everything always fit, which is why nobody said anything. Then, all of a sudden, they decide to push Yasuke. And it all just doesn't make much sense, right? It makes you wonder, what the fuck is that about, right? How was that your choice? Like, when you sat down, how the fuck was that your choice? So then you start looking and you start realizing you're putting two and two together, and you start realizing, oh, this got to be a massive virtue signal. That's just how it looks, right? Patterns will tell me this looks like a massive virtue signal. So when a rumor comes out that says the game originally featured a Japanese main character, I do believe that, because their previous games, if they were making this game like they were their previous games, then that would be true. There would be a male Japanese character. But then all of a sudden we get Yasuke, and people were like, the fuck's up with that? So that's besides the point. Now, apparently the game could be delayed even further. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that. So let's get into this part here. Let me scroll down a little bit. So a new rumor from YouTuber Endymion, shout out to Endymion, who alleges to have spoken with a number of individuals at Ubisoft and who have worked with the company in the past, claims that the game could be delayed even further, and that the game originally featured a male Japanese protagonist instead of Yasuke. Which, by the way, anybody look at Yasuke and see a striking resemblance to George Floyd? It's kind of like George Floyd, but with hair, right? Like there is a striking resemblance to George Floyd. The facial features are almost one for one. It's kind of scary, actually. But that's besides the point. Endymion shared, my source told me, however, that they heard February 2025 is simply a placeholder release date as of now. Apparently, this is because Ubisoft is scrambling and they need certain key talent in order to assist on a Q2 game release. If you don't know what that means, there's 4 quarters to a calendar year. So Q2 means Ubisoft has something they think that will hit that is coming out later in the year that they need help on. So because talent at the studio is working to make that feature release come out more smoothly, Shadows is not being given the extra hands it kind of needs right now. And, you know, this kind of goes back to the conversation I was having before about Ubisoft and their customers. Because people are trying to say that Ubisoft, the game got delayed because it was buggy. All right. Let's sit down together. Let's sit down right now together. Come on, you want to get close? Get close, motherfuckers. Come on, let's sit down. Sit down together right now. Come on. Let's sit down together really quick right now. Just really fast, really fast. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Which one of you in this circle of titties and ass right now genuinely believe that Ubisoft gives a fuck about releasing a game that's buggy? Come on, raise your hands. Any hands? Any hands? Anybody out there? Anybody out there right now? Does anybody genuinely fucking believe that Ubisoft gives a shit about releasing a game to their client base that's buggy? Anybody? Any hands? No. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure because hey, there might be a couple crazies out there in the chat. You never know. Might be okay. All right. So back up. Stop being gay now. Stop being gay. Back up. Let it be known, Ubisoft does not give a fuck about releasing a buggy game to their customers. They haven't cared for damn near a fucking decade. They're not going to start caring now. All right? Look at the way they released Star Wars fucking Outlaws. You think they care about releasing a buggy game? No. So that's like, we need to stop with the whole, oh, it's being delayed because it's buggy. I don't believe that shit. I really don't. Ubisoft customers, and I'm talking about Ubisoft customers that buy on day one. I'm not talking about people who buy Ubisoft games on sale like I do, right? I buy Ubisoft games when it's like 90% off, all right? But I'm talking about day one Assassin's Creed buyers, okay? And some of you might be in this chat right now. Don't take offense from what I'm about to say. But Ubisoft absolutely knows that their day one buyers are perfectly okay with getting fucked. They just know. It's like Bethesda customers. They just know. They know it. They know that nobody's not gonna buy the game who was already gonna buy the game simply because it's buggy. They're gonna buy it day one anyway. Granted, that's not many people, but they know. They know. So it is what it is, right? They know they have people out there that are just gonna consume. I have never in my life met a day one Ubisoft buyer. And again, don't get me wrong. There's people out there that are. And if you enjoy the product, that's okay too. That's okay too. But you also have to sit there and admit that it is buggy as shit when the game comes out for at least a few weeks to a month until it is eventually all fixed. Just like Star Wars Outlaws is right now, right? So the whole excuse about it being buggy, I don't buy that as the reason why it's being delayed. I think it's being delayed for financial reasons. I think it's being delayed because Ubisoft has an opportunity to at least get close to breaking even, right? For the year. They've lost a lot of money on Star Wars Outlaws, and they're trying to get to a point where they can showcase the best numbers possible by the end of the year. And if they release Assassin's Creed Shadows and they take that hit this year, it's not going to end well for them. It's already not ending well for them. The stock is tanking on both sides, the Euro side and the American side. It's fucking tanking hard. So they can't afford to release this game in 2024. They have to release it in 2025. Now, what Endymion is saying about there being another game that they're banking on, that might be possible, right? Maybe they're going to hope that that game offsets the loss that they're about to take on Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's possible, but we don't know that yet, right? We don't know. It's kind of all up in the air right now. Then Endymion then revealed his source told him the game originally featured a Japanese male protagonist. I was also told when they originally saw the game, there was indeed a male Japanese protagonist with their own finalized art and even animations. Now, I don't know if I believe the animations part. And the reason why I don't know if I believe the animations part is because if you look at Naoe and you look at the way, that she runs around and the way that she does her parkour, it's the exact fucking same as previous Assassin's Creed games. It's a 1-for-1 recreation. There's no custom animations for her whatsoever. So I just think it's odd they will make custom animations for, the male protagonist, but not the female. I don't know. I guess maybe because he's a samurai, whereas she is more of a shinobi, ninja, whatever. So that's more in line with what the assassins used to do in the past games. So animations could be similar for them, but not for samurai. Maybe that could be a thing. They don't know if this character will be introduced to replace Yasuke. It won't. Can we stop? It won't. But they are skeptical that Ubisoft will actually remove Yasuke altogether due to the whole political, backlash they'll get from journalists and so on. I'm telling you right now, guys, if they removed Yasuke, that would cause the biggest meltdown that we have and will ever see on the internet up until that point in time.